So my job is to find your best suitor with your best monetary payout, right? And you might have to give a little if there's a certain spot you want to land. You might have to give up a little money to go there, but that's of course on you. If you want the best contract with the best payout, you're gonna, have to maybe give a little bit on where you want to go. So it's like kind of a give and take type of thing. So let's just start. I need you to give me your top 3 places where you want to go play. Okay, let me write them down. We have the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay, big market, big market. We have, okay, New York Knicks. Again, big market. And we have Miami Heat, another big market. I'm seeing a trend here, right? That being said, like I mentioned, a big market team, it might be harder for you to get the kind of money you want, right? So, I mean, I know you give me 3 big market teams. I want you to give me at least 2 small market teams where you would be okay with playing. I get they're not your first choice, but if they're willing to offer more money, significantly more money than these, the Lakers or the Knicks or the Heat, it's just an option, right? I just want to give me 2 places where you would want to go that are smaller market teams. Okay, Detroit, they're up and coming, they're young, that makes sense. In Portland, okay, Portland. I don't really see the vision there, but hey, if you want to go play there, that's fine. So obviously I'm going to get on the phones and I'm going to, talk through contracts with you, and them, see what they can offer you, and even if they're interested at all. Some of these teams might not be interested at all, right? That's going to be kind of their decision as well. It's not just simply up to me. They have to show interest as well, but a guy like you, I don't see why they wouldn't, right? A real talented wing. You can even handle the ball. You can kind of do everything, right? You can go big if you want, and you can play small ball if you want. And you're great at ball handling. You can shoot. You have everything. You're just kind of like the worst version of LeBron, I would say. So I don't think it's gonna be hard to find a place for you. Contract-wise, what are you necessarily looking for? Are you looking for like a max deal? Are you willing to take a pay cut? I guess that should be something we handle right now. Are you willing to take a pay cut? Okay, let me write that down. Yes, pay cut. Okay, you're willing to take a pay cut, which is good. That helps me out, honestly. It broadens my ability to negotiate. So I'm gonna get on the phone, right? Why don't you just step out and go, do something. It'll take me, 20 minutes to contact all these teams and see where they stand, and I'll come back with information for you, okay? Alright, I just got off the phone with all these teams, and after some hard negotiating, these are what I believe the best deals I could get for you were. The good thing is, right, every single team you listed to me didn't write it down in writing, but they did verbally give me an offer of the ballpark of what they would want to pay for you. So I'm gonna tell you, I'll tell you what I think the best deal is at the end, but I want to hear what you think first, after I tell you all these. So gotta just save your comments for the end, okay? So I contacted the Los Angeles Lakers. They were willing to give a 4-year, $80 million deal, so that is just roughly $20 million a year. No, that's not a bad offer, especially if that's your number one team. $20 million a year is a lot more money than quite a few people in this world make, including me. But, yeah, I mean, you're kind of getting up there in age, so again, a lot of these offers don't exceed, they don't really want to lock in anything more than a 4-year, which I understand, and I gave them the benefit of the doubt on that. I said, I get it, I understand. It is what it is, right? So, and the next, I contacted the Knicks, and they necessarily weren't interested, but with a talent like you, I think just throwing a dart out at the dartboard for them was their play. They sent back a 2-year, $25 some change. And they also threw in a no trade clause. So if you're willing to give up that extra $5 million for the no trade clause, if you were to prefer Miami over the Los Angeles Lakers, so be it, right? Then that's also an option for you. After that, I contacted the Detroit Pistons, and they were honestly kind of throwing money on. I don't know how serious they were with this talk, but if this is where you were going to go, we would obviously further extend this and get down to brass tacks, right? The Pistons offered a 4-year, $160 million deal with a no-trade clause. So that's $40 million a year on one of the brightest and youngest teams up and coming in the NBA. And they also threw a team option in there for a 5th year if they want to pick it up for $40 million, which necessarily I don't know if that would happen. That's going to be right around the time he turned 36. So if you're playing at a high level still, then I would understand if they want to keep that, that, especially with market value and inflation and everything, the numbers are only going to go up. So if you're valued at more than $40 million, they could obviously accept that, and you would be there for a 5th year at $40 million. Again, no trade clause, like I mentioned. I don't know how important that is to you, but it certainly is leverage for you if there's a situation where you want out and you can essentially pick where you want to go, right? They offer to trade you to the Utah Jazz, and you don't want to go, you can waive it. You don't say, we're not doing that. But if they send an offer out to, I don't know, Chicago Bulls, and you really want to go to Chicago, then you could waive your no trade clause and say, send me, right? Make the trade. So it's leverage, especially if you want to stay in Detroit and they want to peddle you out. They can't trade you, right? They can obviously release you, but then they'd have to pay the salary and everything, so you're still getting paid. Whereas a no trade clause, if they were to trade you, you'd essentially have to uproot your life that you built there and go to somewhere like Utah or somewhere like, Indiana, or you know what I mean? Something like that. And then the last team I contacted was the Portland Trail Blazers. They were interested on the same level as kind of New York here. They offered you a 2-year, $80 million deal, which obviously comes out to $40 million a year, which is on par with what Detroit offered. You would essentially be the guy in Portland, which is, I don't know if that's important to you or not. If you're simply just looking for money and a ring, then I don't know if Portland would be the great option for you. But they are offering $40 million a year. No trade clause, no team option, none of that extra, jazz in there. But just a straight up $40 million a year for over 2 years. It would get you over. It would get you to age 34, I believe, in the league, which is kind of dangerous. I don't necessarily know if this is a smart option to do, especially if you have a rapid decline in your aging and you become less efficient as you are right now. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm keeping it real with you. Essentially, it's kind of a prove it deal, which I don't think is a good thing for you because you've certainly proved it throughout the league. I'm interested to hear what you think is your best option. I know you said you want to play in a big market, which I understand. I understand that completely. So I want you to give me your, what you think, and then I'm going to tell you what I think. And, it's obviously, again, your call. But I've been doing this for so long. I've been in this business for so long. I can see a good deal when one's in front of me, and I can see a bad one when one's in front of me. So I'm gonna go through the list, right? I want you to tell me what you think. You think, okay, the Lakers, you like that deal? The 4 years, 80 million, $20 million a year. Of course, you can make money off your name, image and likeness, the NIL, which has never been an issue in the NBA, but jersey sales, commercials, advertising that you do yourself, especially in the big market, is going to get you paid. So maybe that 4 years, $80 million is maybe a little low, but you can make more money elsewhere off your name and everything like that. So you like the Lakers, but you don't like the Knicks. God gotcha. I was honestly thinking the same thing. $12.5 million. I don't care if you're going to play in a super team with Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, Bill Russell, all the greats in the league. $25.5 million a year is way too small for a player like you, even with their no trade clause. I almost laughed at them and hung up, but I said, you know what? He wants big market teams. He listed you guys as an option. I'm gonna hear you out, and I'm gonna, relay the information to him. So, no on the Knicks. I like that. That's a good call. Miami, the 4 years is $75 million a year, just under $20 million a year, with a no trade clause. Okay, you're unsure on that. That's fair. It's an okay deal, right? In comparison to the Lakers, it's up to you if you want to give up that extra $5 million for the no trade clause. And it also depends if you want to live in Los Angeles or if you want to live in Miami. I personally would rather live in Miami. But again, it's up to you. It's your life. It's your career. Yeah. So there we have that. You're unsure. Okay, we can circle back to it. Detroit, the 4 year, $160 million a year, averaging out to $40 million per year, with a no trade clause and the team option. So essentially a 5th year option at $40 million. So honestly, if everything went right, it would be 5 years of $200 million a year. Okay, you like that? You know what? I am gonna like that one too. I think that is your best value offer here, and it's not like Detroit is a bad team. They've been known, right? They've been known to be bad, but if you've seen what they're doing recently and how they've been building the team, they are certainly on the rise. Sort of like all teams in Detroit right now, they're all on the rise after being down in the dumps for years. So I also like the Detroit offer, but again, it's up to you. It's if you want to play in that smaller market or if you want to, play in that big market. And lastly, the Portland Trail Blazers, the 2 year, $80 million, $40 million a year. Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't think that is a good offer, especially with your age. And you're going to be coming into age 34, looking for a contract year, looking to be paid a lot. And if I was you, I would likely rather be coming into age 36 season, looking for a contract after getting paid good now. Or with the Pistons option, it would be age 37. You could retire after that if you wanted to, if you're not playing at a level that you think you should be. So we have no on Portland, no on New York, maybe on Miami, and yes on Lakers, and yes on the Pistons. So now we've gone over that. I'm going to give you my opinion, which I think you can kind of already tell by the way we've been talking about this. I think you should go to Detroit. I think you should build with that young core. They're looking for that veteran experience and a leader. You can lead the team. They got guys like Kate Cunningham who are great, right? You could play alongside him. I don't think you'd necessarily be the star on the team, but it's also like I think the ball would be shared perfectly with you. You would fit that role perfectly in Detroit. Whereas if you go to the Lakers, I mean, you could essentially take over for LeBron. They obviously have Luka there. You could make a duo with Luka. But is it worth giving up that extra $20 million a year, and essentially the team option as well, that extra year? And with Detroit, you have a no trade clause. I think you should go to Detroit. It's obviously your call. I want you to take some time to think it over. Don't make a decision today. Obviously, call me when you're ready, and we can further discuss with teams. And if, I think we've gathered today, you're either going to go to Los Angeles or you're going to go to Detroit. So when you decide that, give me a call, and I can further extend talks with the Pistons or the Lakers, whichever one you choose. Okay? Have a great rest of your day.